So this is the agenda. We will go through what ExFlow history is, examples of ExFlow reports, and also what Audit Log is and how you activate it and see it in use as well. And then we will end with the Q&A if you have any questions. So first, let's start with ExFlow history. There are 5 different kinds of categories, so to speak. So you can find them either under actions or if you search for them. It all depends on what role you have. I will show that later so you can see what role you have. And if there is a history page or report that you often use, you can bookmark this function to save a quick link, for example. So let's start with these categories and go through them briefly so you get an idea of what they are. So the first one is ExFlow search documents. And here you can retrieve documents connected to ExFlow. So for example, you can search for vendors, you can search on dates, reference codes, and much, much more. And then we have ExFlow approval status history, where you can retrieve posted documents such as like invoices, orders, and quotes. And here you can filter by activating an advanced filter to retrieve projects, approval groups, and other things. And you can, on this page, also save your filters. So if you want to redo the same search again later on, you can use those saved filters. Also, you can use the discussion panel on this page, so you can chat with your coworkers, for example, and tag them. And then we have ExFlow imported documents. So here you can access all interpreted and imported documents. You have the discussion panel here as well, so you can chat about them. And then we have ExFlow chat notifications. And here you can view messages that you have been tagged in over the past 90 days. And you can answer the messages here as well as if you're tagged in a message and you click on that, you can go directly to the information about that document and you see the PDF and other information. And then finally, under ExFlow deleted documents, so let's say that if a document is created but not yet posted, you can delete it. So if you do so, the document will be saved and can be found here. And you also have the discussion panel here. Also, like if you delete a document and you have written messages in the discussion panel somewhere, then let's say you wrote a message in the import journal on the document and then you delete it. The message will remain, so you can see them here as well on the deleted document. And then let's have a look at ExFlow reports. So there are 3 different categories under this. It's documents, users, and approval rules. And you can access them either via the main page under actions or by searching for them. And also you can bookmark these as well if you have a favorite that you run often. And when you run the report, you can choose the file format. So let's say that you fill in the criteria and then you push send to on the bottom. Then you get a new window, this window where you get to choose the file type. And then you choose, for example, I want to see all the facts in an Excel document or a Word document. So you can choose different kinds of types here depending on what you want to do with the information. So let's go through some chosen different reports that you can use. Something good to know is that if you hover over the name, you will be able to see a brief explanation of what the report does. Also on our documentation platform, we have information about the reports as well. So you can see that there as well. And I will send you the link with the email later today. So let's start with the reports under the category documents. We will not talk about all of them, just the marked ones here. And as I said, you can search for these as well. You don't have to go through actions and then click on them. So let's start with ExFlow approval status. And this report shows all the documents awaiting approval and not yet posted. So you can use filters to select specific periods. You also have the option to create a journal through this report containing the lines from the filtered documents. And this can be used to book costs in the correct month and reverse them in the following month if the document hasn't been approved and posted in the correct period, for example. So that's very useful for that. And then we have ExFlow posted approval documents. And here you'll see documents and they are grouped by approver. So you can choose the status of the document, such as current or rejected, and so on. And you can include documents that have been posted, for example, only for one approver or more approvers. And then we have ExFlow open documents. And this report shows all open documents that have not yet been posted for a specific or multiple approval groups. So you can choose that there as well. And then we have ExFlow document approval history. And this one simply displays posted documents with approval groups and approvers as well. And then the last one, ExFlow documents per company. And this is a report that provides statistics for all companies, and it compares this year's statistics with the previous years. And it shows the numbers of the documents and approver per company. And then we have the reports under the category user. So the first one, ExFlow users, that report displays both ExFlow users and user settings per company. And you can use various filters there. And then we have ExFlow approval follow-up, and there you can see approvers who haven't approved their lines. And you can filter here by approval group. So you can see, for example, a specific approver and so on. And then we have ExFlow approver statistics, and that report shows approvers that have approved, and it includes numbers such as average approval time and more. So you can see for how many days it takes for an approver to approve a document, for example. And then ExFlow user replacements, where you can see current and previous replacers. So you can sort by approvers, or you can retrieve all the current approvers. So that's useful if you want to see, okay, who are on vacation right now and have added a replacement or not. And then finally, we have the reports under the category approval rules. So the first one provides a detailed view of all approval rules per company. And you can also use filters on this one, such as vendors or dimension values if you want to. And you can also tick a box that says show members in the approval group to include that information as well if you want to have it detailed like that. And then we have ExFlow approval rules per user, where you can see which approval rules have users as a part of it. So you can also choose to see those that have acted as replacers, and you can specify it by date or range and so forth. And then we have ExFlow approval rules list, and that report lists only the currently active approval rules. So it provides you a quick overview of all the approval rules that is currently in place and that are active. And then let's move on to ExFlow Audit Log. And the ExFlow Audit Log, it's built on top of the BC change log. And the audit log that provides a more user-friendly record of changes that is made to a document and or the approval rules and the ExFlow contracts. So you can see it on those three places. When you activate the audit log, you can track all changes made from the moment that the document is imported until it's posted. And you can view all changes summarized or in more details. And you also have the options to export this log to an Excel if you want to, for example. And the changes that's made to a document is viewed under ExFlow approval status history, or the changes to a contract or approval rule has the information based on those functions under those functions as well. So let's have a look at this in Business Central. So first, let's have a look at where you can find the history and the reports. So if you have the ExFlow accountant role, you find them under actions. Here's actions, and you have ExFlow history and the ExFlow reports. You can also search for them if you want to. And how to find out if you have the ExFlow accountant role, you click on this one and my settings, and then you can see the role up here. So if you have the ExFlow accountant, then you have these actions up here. I won't show all the reports and history that we went through in the PowerPoint, but I thought that we will look at a few selected ones so you get the idea of how they work. We also have, as I said, more details on the reports and history in our manual on the documentation platform. So I will send the link to you. So let's start by looking at one way that you can search for documents. And when you do so, you can use various criteria. So let's go to ExFlow history and then ExFlow search documents. And today I want to search for documents that the user, the approver admin have approved in this company. And I want to see them for the vendor, this one, for example. So you fill in the criteria and then you click on apply filter. So this is the result. You can see header level, you can see document lines, and then the approvers down here. If you would like to add more filters or modify the filters, you can click on show hide filters and you will get this and still have your search here on the bottom. In addition to the filters here, you also have something called search columns here. So if you click on that, you can add columns. For example, you can add an account if you're looking for that, or here I have a dimension, department, and so on. So you can use that as well. And as I mentioned in the PowerPoint, you can see the discussion panel on many of the pages and use it as well. So let's take a look at how it looks like when you use the discussion panel on another history page. So let's go to ExFlow approval status history. And here you see the fact box here on the right. And it looks kind of the same as it does in, for example, the import journal. So if you scroll down, you see the discussion panel here. So this is where you can write and receive comments, for example, on this document. And if you want to look at another document, you just move. You can also see your messages, so you have access to them when you have been tagged. You can set up notifications to receive messages both in Business Central and via email if someone tags you. So you can see up here that I have a new comment, for example. You can click on read comment there. Or you can go to ExFlow history and click on ExFlow chat notifications. Now I don't have a new message here, but then I can also see previous messages. So if I click on show all here, I can see the previous messages. If you click on a message, you will get the detailed information from that, in this case, invoice. If you scroll down, you also have the information here as it looks like in the import journal and approval status. And this is where you can continue to write your messages, for example. And then when it comes to reports, you can simply search for them if you want to, or find them here under actions. If you don't have the accountant role, you can also click up here to explore all the features for different roles that you are available to view. So you can go here through several pages. But let's go here, ExFlow reports, and let's have a look at user. And we want to look at approver statistics. So let's add a date till today. And I want this report to show per vendor, so I tick this one. You can, in this case, choose to preview and close, then you get a PDF to see the results, or you can click on Send To. And when you click on Send To here, you get that list of what kind of formats you can choose this report to run by. So if you want a PDF or a Word or Excel, for example. If you click on Preview and Close, it will show you it in PDF. So now you have an idea of how reports and history could work. So let's move over to Audit Log. I have already activated Audit Log with the purpose of being able to show you guys how it looks like on a document, for example. And this, since you can only see the log for documents that you are working on from when you activate it, and none before activation. So it's only for when you activate it. So let's go to ExFlow Audit Setup. And what you do here when you want to activate it is that you choose an audit log template to start with. It's here. And you can see I have base. And base is already available to you, but you can also create your own templates with other filters or less filters, for example. But it's important to keep in mind that you should never activate more than you actually need. So only activate the things you need. It's very important because otherwise it can impact the performance of the system. So keep that in mind. You can also, you have this base here. You can also easily copy this foundation and build from this base template. And if you go to, let's see, Actions, Other, and Audit Log Templates, you have the base one here. And then if you click on Copy Template, you get to rename the new template if you want to. And then you can build your filters in that. So when you have clicked in what template you want to use, you go to Changelog Setup. And then you push this one, Changelog Activated. It should change and be green when it's activated. So please note only that it's only documents created from now on that will be displayed, the changes on that. And those that have already been created or imported before you activate it will not show any details. So that's how you activate it. So let's have a look at how it looks in practice after activation of Audit Log. So you can, as I said, watch the changes or look at the changes in ExFlow contracts, ExFlow approval rules, and also in ExFlow approval status history. So let's start with ExFlow approval status history. So you find it under ExFlow history or search for it. And I want to look at this one today. So you stand on the document you want to see the details for, click on related, and then Audit Log and Audit Log. And when you enter Audit Log, you can see a detailed summary of the different areas on which the document has from being created to posting. So you can see here it says import journal, approval status, and approval status history. So import journal, this is where it was created, you added information, and this one I have actually created manually. Otherwise, if you had imported it, it would be something here saying it was imported, for example. And then you can also see here that in approval status, you send out the document to your approvers. You can see here that CC, which is one of the approvers, did something in ExFlow Web. And then you can see that it's posted in the approval status history. So you can see more detailed view under each area. So let's say I want to see what happened in the import journal. Then you click and stand on that line, click on view area, and then you get more information. So remember I said I created this one manually. So you can see here what happens on header level, line level, and then by approvers or that level. So you can see here that this date and time I added amounts and VAT, You can see what dates I added, from what vendor. You can see that I added accounts, and then you can see that I manually added the approver for this document, for example. You can also export this to Excel up here if you want to. And then you can go back here. You can click on related and actions and export to Excel if you want to export this as well. We also have from the latest release a new feature. Some of you have asked to being able to download a copy of more detailed information that you don't have to go to several places to search for things. So if we go back to, ExFlow approval status history, let's go to this invoice and then click related and audit log. You have something called document approval history here. And it says, do you want to export the document approval history? You click yes. And then you get a file. If you open this file, you will get the invoice or what document it is. And then you will, with this, also get the detailed information, what vendor, amounts, dates. You can see the line level information, and you can see who approved it and what date, and so on. So some of you have asked for it, and it's finally here. So let's have a look at what's happened under ExFlow approval rules if you make changes there. So let's go to ExFlow approval rules. Let's open this approval rule. And here on the bottom, I have 3 approver groups. Let's say I want to add another one, this one. So now I've added one in this approval group. If you then go back, click on actions, audit log, and it's for the line you're on. You get information here that this date and time, this person added this one to the approval rule. So that's an example of how it can look like if you make changes to an approval rule. So let's also have a look at what happens if you make changes to ExFlow contracts. And I have saved it as a bookmark up here. Just click here and let's go to this one. And let's say I want to change the total contract amount. It's going to be 10,000 instead of the previous one. So if you then go back, you stand on the line, click on related and audit log, you get information here, and you can also see previous changes that I've made. You can see here action, total contract amount and maximum invoice amount. So I have actually changed this previously from 2,000 to 3,000 and then another before that. So you can see the changes that you make here as well.